What is enlightenment? Many people have had the experience, but how to explain it in words? Words can just come to the edge of touching it. It's like if I said to you, describe love in words. Well, you could get close. It's not that words are useless. You could get close. You could talk about a union, an opening, a affinity, a compassion, a bonding. You could get close, but you couldn't actually, with words, give someone the experience of what love is unless they'd experienced it themselves. And it's very much like that with enlightenment. So we'll get as close as we can with words, and then grace does the rest. Pujya Swamiji always says that enlightenment simply means being in the light. It's not something that we have to wait for to come after death, or that liberation that comes when we're no longer in a body, or it's going to come in some next lifetime. Enlightenment means living in the light. But then the question, of course, becomes, well, which light? Clearly we don't just mean the light on my ceiling. We also don't mean the light of the sun, the light of the moon, the light of the stars. What light is it that we mean when we say living in the light is enlightenment? Well, one way to think about it and one way to understand it is the light, which is the absence of the darkness of ignorance. The darkness of ignorance is what most of us live in, and that ignorance is an ignorance of who we are. When I first came here, almost 20 years ago now, I had been here for just a few weeks, and Pujya Swamiji one day holds up a pen, and he says to me, "You are not this pen." And I laughed, right? I mean, if someone tells you you're not a pen, okay, so thank you. We laugh, but we know that. But he was very serious, and he looked at me and he said, "There will come a time when you laugh in the same way when I tell you you are not this body. At the moment you understand you're not a pen. You think it's funny I should even mention it. But if I say to you you're not this body, you're not going to believe me. There will come a day when it's equally absurd to think that you are this body as it is to think today that you are a pen." That's the darkness of ignorance that the light removes. If I say to most of you, okay, tell me about yourself, who are you? What sort of answers are you going to start giving me? Well, I'm American, I'm German, I'm French, I'm Italian. I'm 16, I'm 15, I'm 18, I'm 20. I'm a boy, I'm a girl. I'm Sikh. I'm Christian but in a Sikh school, Jewish but in a Sikh school, Muslim but in a Sikh school, an atheist. I'm 6 feet tall, I'm 5 feet tall. I'm a math student. I'm good at science. But all of these things fall into the same category of that darkness of ignorance, because every one of them keeps constantly changing. Even that which lasts your entire life, well, it wasn't necessarily true in your past life. It's not necessarily going to be true in your next life. Anything that we identify as me, that's part of my physical body, or that's part of the history that my physical body has been through. Where I was born, what my parents do, what box of a religion I think I was born into, what color my skin is, what gender I am. All of these things are part just of this body, which isn't who you are. This body has changed innumerable times since you were born. But at the age of 5, we said I. Even earlier, most of us learn I and me by the age of 2 or so. This is mine, me, I. Then the I is there at 15, and the I will be there at 25 and 35 and 55 and 105. But the body keeps changing. So the darkness that most of us live in, which is the opposite of this enlightenment, is an identification with who we are as being based on this body. What it can do, what it looks like, what it owns, where it's from. And the light that comes into our life by the grace, by Guru, is the light that says, you are not this. You are divine. You are created by the Creator and also of the Creator. You are eternal. You're infinite. There's a beautiful mantra that we chant here that says, Purnamada, Purnamidam Purnamada Purnat Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. And what it means is, the divine is infinite, whole, complete, perfect. And that which is removed from infinity, wholeness, perfection, completeness, is also infinite and whole and perfect and complete and divine. Those of you who are math students, what is infinity minus 10? Students? Infinity. Infinity divided by 2. Infinity. So infinity divided by 7 billion? Infinity. So that's what we're told. That's the truth. We've been created by the infinite. That is infinite and whole and complete and perfect and divine. And this which has been created by that is also, therefore, infinite and complete and perfect and divine. So when that awareness comes, that's the beginning of the light. And then when that light shines, we see not only who we are, but we see who everyone else around us is. What the creation is, what the world is, what our connection to the world is. And then we're living in light. We don't need to bring that light from somewhere. The light is always shining. You know, Pujya Swamiji always talks about how the sun is there, but we're living in the darkness inside. Chanting mantras for the sun, praying for the sun, wanting the sun to come. But all we have to do is open our curtains, clean our windows. The light is there. So that light of enlightenment is not something that we have to look for outside. It's not about if I do this prayer or I do this mantra or I do this asana, the light will come. It's about how do I open my curtains? How do I clean my windows so the light that's there can shine in my life? And when that happens, then we're living in light. And that can happen today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, next life. But it's up to us. He always says, whenever you wake up, it's morning.